Hi everyone, welcome to Flosstube number 21. It is Labor Day, so September 1st, 2025. We completed a whole month of August, and now we're in September, and now it's getting to my favorite time of the year, so I'm extra excited for this update. I feel like I had a great August. It was a bit of a disaster in terms of our house. But overall, I think we stitched seasonally. I had fun. I tried to do a lot of fun seasonal summery things during the month outside of stitching as well. So I was really living in the moment, because if you didn't see my last Flosstube episode, that's my current goal, is to live in the moment. So that's what I'm trying to do. So we'll jump into what I got up to stitching wise. I feel like I was very productive. So I worked on my Carolyn Manning quilting bee. This is what it's going to look like. It's very cute, very summery, obviously. Bees are not my friend this month. I'll tell you that story at the end of the video. So this is a 2/1 full cross on, I believe it's 18 count. This is where I was at last time, and then this is where I got to. So I worked on filling in some of the boring light stitching, and then just like making my way, filling it in, working on the borders, all that good stuff. So this one is so fun. Like, it is just a good time. And it's getting there. I feel like if I really focused on this for like another month, I could have it done. Will that happen? I don't know, because again, I'm kind of mad at bees right now, so looking at them was not my favorite thing, so I stopped working on that. But I'm still happy with like the progress that I did get on that. Then I jumped into my William Morris piece for my mom. This is by Whoopie Cat on Etsy. It's charted by her. And then it's on a 16 count Milk and Honey Ada from Fiber on a Whim, 2/1 full cross. I set a goal last time of doing the upper right portion, so I'll put a picture of where I was. And this is where I'm at now. So I freaking killed my goal. Killed it, because I was just saying I was gonna do this part, but then I went down and did this like a madman. Yeah, so I'm really happy with my progress on this one. So for next time, I think I am going to set a goal of filling in these last few bits where the frame is now. So like leaf thingy, mabob. But then I'm gonna move the frame down, and I think I'm gonna just start outlining everything, because that's the part that tends to take me the longest. And then once you have the outline, you can fill it in pretty easily. So that will be my goal for next time. But yeah, I powered through this one. It was really fun. I love this fabric. I will definitely get more Fiber on a Whim fabric. It is very nice and soft to stitch on. Then I worked on my Summer Quaker by Leela's Studio. I am doing this on another Fiber on a Whim account. Am I in frame? Oh my gosh, so sorry. I can't tell. I'm filming in all different sorts of places, and my house is in shambles. So this is the Summer Quaker Leela's Studio on a 46 count cappuccino, 1/2 full cross. This is where I was at last time. And then this is where I got to. So I started by starting on the cloud, and then I started to come down here. Again, I'm not in frame, sorry. Started working on the cloud, and then I went to move down here, and I was just nervous that I was gonna be off. So then I was like, I'm just gonna continue working like on the border. So then I came up, did the border, a lot of the words. Then I jumped up here, did these like big motifs. How cute is this little sand dollar? So freaking cute. This is very cute. I don't think Quakers are my style. Well, I know they're not. They're not, but it's fun to work on something that like is different. And this is obviously a very high count fabric. So I did it till basically I was sick of it. But I had a great time actually. So I might work on this one again in September. I'm considering September still summer in my household. Fall kicks off on October 1st. That's when I'm allowed to get pumpkin creamer. That's when we decorate for fall, all that good stuff. Then I was like, that was really fun to do something different. And I was like, what's really different and kind of more also fun? And I decided to work on my chatelaine. This one was a process. I like had to like get back into the chatelaine like mindset, and wrap my mind around what the heck I was supposed to be doing. But this is where I was at last time. And then this is where I got to. So that's super freaking cool. This thing is massive. I didn't really realize how big it was gonna be. Oh, I should move all this stuff so you get the actual vibe. I didn't realize how massive it was gonna be, but it's Gorgina. So I obviously filled in the rest of this like stuff, and then I worked on the top. I'm so close to being done with this little flower, but I got halfway through all of the knots up here, and I was just like, I'm done. I can't do it. I ended that, I finished that piece of floss, and then I was like, I'm out. So next time I pick it up, I have to finish off the knots, and then I think there's an outline around this little guy, but then I'll probably start just copy and pasting on these other ones. So yeah. I'm pretty happy with it. The only part that really blends in is these stitches inside of this flower. And she said in the instructions, like, you can pull it taut to get a lacy effect. And I was trying that, but I don't think I was successful. So whatever. I tried, but it's really pretty. I love this. It's so sparkly, and I can't wait. I mean, this will be like 10 years from now, but I can't wait till I'm on the beaded portion of this. Because, do I have the beads in here? Yeah. Look at all these beads that it comes with. Oh, so satisfying. It made me really want a beading project, but I don't really have any. I guess I could start a ornament around Christmas time, because those are beaded and those are pretty quick stitches. Okay, then I was like, Milwaukee basically got, we are having 10 out of 10 weather, like absolutely gorgeous weather. and it started to feel fallish. And you know, I'm trying to be seasonal and live in the moment, but a couple of like sweatshirt days and your girl was feeling a little bit of fall inspo, and I really wanted to work on my haunted house. Plus this is also a present, so I was like, if I am in the mood to stitch this, I really should, because I want to get it done so I can give it to my friend. So this is the Haunted House Sal by Teeny Weeny X Stitch. I'm doing it on a 16 count white Aida 2/1 full cross. This is where I was at last time. And then this is where I got to. So I am still doing this by color completing. So I actually put aside the colors I completed. Hold on. I finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 colors. So that was exciting. So yeah, that was super fun. I've been picking it by throwing up the floss in the air and then picking a random one, and then whatever color I pick, I finish the color in here. And it is so fun. This is just so fun to stitch. So yeah, that's what I did. This is probably like the biggest chunk of color I had. And then I worked on like the candles, some browns, like the tans. So yeah, so fun. Love this one. Okay, now here's the debacle. I had a new start. Yay, so fun, right? Yes, it is very fun. I decided I am doing the seasonal Hobbit houses. I got them off Etsy. I am blanking on what shop they were in, so I will go ahead and input the shop here. And I'm gonna do all 4 seasons. Adam and I went to New Zealand for a honeymoon, went to Hobbiton. Oh my gosh, it was magical. I would 100% go back there. If you ever go, definitely sign up to do the dinner. We did not, and we didn't know that was an option. And that's like my one regret from our honeymoon, is that we didn't do the dinner at Hobbiton, because it was so cool. Anyway, so I decided I'm gonna do all 4 seasons of the Hobbit houses, Shire. And I started with fall. So this is what it's gonna look like. And I am doing this on 28 count, 2/1 half cross, because I've never done half cross before, and I was like, oh, how fun, let me give it a go. Now, I'm dumb. And I was excited. I tried to input the pattern into Pattern Keeper to track my stitches, and I was having trouble. So I was like, screw it. I will just mark it off in my phone, because that's what I do with other patterns. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And I've begun. And notice this is a gridded fabric, so I didn't need the grid anymore, so I just started somewhere. I started this yesterday, so like, bear with me. And I did all this, and it's like 600 and something stitches. And this morning I worked on it some more. And I did a whole block over here that I had to frog because I messed up the counting. And I messed up the counting because with half crosses, I'm getting confused. I'm getting confused because it's hard to tell where one stitch, column, stitch. Wow, that's confusing. But like if columns were like this, 2 different lengths, it's hard for me for some reason to count how many squares I'm supposed to be skipping. So anyway, I basically didn't make 2 of these columns width-wise long enough. So then when I counted off those columns to go over here to the next part, it was wrong. So I was like, oh my gosh, I need Pattern Keeper. And so then I spent the next 2 hours learning how to use Pattern Keeper because apparently I'm, again, dumb and didn't know how to do it. So yeah, I got it to work essentially. But now, gridded fabric, it's not where it should be on the grid. So like that makes the grid basically a moot point. So I'm like, should I just start over? And the answer is yes, I should just start over because then I can actually understand where I am in the grid of 10 with Pattern Keeper now that I got it to work. So I'm just annoyed basically that I did this and now it doesn't do anything for me. Depressing. But the good news is I think it looks cool. I think the 2/1 tent, I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it, but again, I love Crafty Gaming Jamie and she does 2/1 tent on 25 count and this is 28 count. So I was like, I feel like I should give it a go. And I think she did her Haid last year on a 28 count 2/10. So I was like, if she does it, I'm gonna do it. Because again, I'm like such a fan of hers. So anyway, I think it looks cool. So I'm excited about this. But I'm just annoyed that I have to start over. So like, just get over it. And I will, but maybe I'm gonna probably just restart tonight. So yeah, that's what I got up to stitching wise in August. I'll go into plans stitching wise and then life stuff after, because again, I know not everyone's into the life vibes. So I will continue my summer stitching because September is summer for me in my brain. Now, I mentioned in my last video all of the projects that I considered summery. The only one I didn't work on that I was like, oh, I should have worked on that was my Carolyn Manning hummingbird garden. So I think I will actually break that out in September. And I envisioned working on my chatelaine a lot in September because that's when I started it in 2023, like birthday start / the BAP Sal. But I'm a little chatelained out at the moment. Who knows what life will bring me in the future. But the other big caveat to September is I start traveling for work. So I can stitch in the car and stuff, but obviously chatelaine is a bit complicated. So I'll probably take easier projects like the quilting bee and the haunted house and stuff like that. It's a bit easier to work on. But anyway, stitching wise, my one big plan, well, I have 2 things. 2, I'm gonna have a birthday start, but I'm gonna start it like any day now. And it's this Grinch piece, which I know is not seasonal, but I wanna have it done by Christmas so I can hang it up. And it is so flippin' funny and cute. And I'll input what the picture is. And I want to get that done. I'm doing it on a 28 count Lugana opalescent, so it's sparkly. And I'm gonna do, did I say 2/1? I didn't mean 2/1. I'm gonna do 3 strands of floss over 2 squares because I want it to be essentially like a chunky, cartoony piece because it is a cartoon. So I will see how 3 strands works and how messy it looks. I'm hoping it'll be okay. But yeah, I'm really excited about that one. And then my other thing is I am going to do the grid iron grind. So that basically means it's basically a stitching challenge related to football. You can pick your own rules, essentially. And what I have chosen to do is I'm following Packers are my team. Then, so if the Packers that week, I'm doing 10 stitches per point they score, and then 150 stitches on a project if they win. So for Packers, I am going to work on my William Morris Blue Pimpernel project, which I love and I want to work on. This is also a lot of block stitching, so I feel like it will be good to do while like watching football. And this one is just so freaking cool. I really love, this is just on like a 18 count navy blue Aida, but I'm doing like, obviously I'm not stitching the navy blue background, and it's making it like, words are failing me. Not 3D. Is 3D the word I'm looking for? Anyway, it's making it like very cool. I love the negative space. So yeah, I'm working on that. Oh my gosh, this actually reminds me, I wanted to bring this up in case anyone else wants to do these William Morris patterns. I have found that, for anyone who doesn't remember, I switched the colors for greens to get more of like a contrasting green, because on the mock-up, they're very contrasty. Up here, I was doing the called for colors, and there's literally no contrast that you notice at all. And so I changed it. Okay. If you look at this William Morris piece, look at the mock-up for this flower, and then look at the flower. Again, I feel like the mock-up is so more dramatic in contrast, and you can hardly tell that these are different colors. So both of these are charted by Whoopie Cat. So I would just, if that bothers you, I would just keep it in mind. I think now, looking back, I would have changed this additional color to have a bit more contrasty, but now it's just too late. And also, like flowers, they can have subtle differences, that's fine. But on a pattern like this Blue Pimpernel one, I would have been really sad if there was no contrast in the greens. So I switched them. So anyway, this is my Packers project. So I'm gonna do those stitches for that one. Now, whoever the Packers are playing, I'm gonna do the same thing. So 150 stitches if they lose, or if the team wins, the opponent wins, and then 10 stitches for every point they score. And I wanted it to be like a drag. Like I wanted to be like, crap, the opponent is winning, you know, like I wanted to be upset. So I've decided to do my opponent's points on the Stitches So Beautiful Borealis colors. And I obviously love this project, but I am going to suffer through and only work on black for those stitches, because this chart has like 40,000 more stitches in black. So I'm just gonna start chucking away at the black stitching. And now the only other team I'm gonna follow is, I wanna do my fantasy football team points as well. So like 150 stitches if I win my fantasy, and then 3 stitches per point, because fantasy points can get quite high. I think I'm going to do those stitches on the Hobbit houses. So like a minimum I have to hit. If I do more, that's awesome. But I might change that later. I don't know. So yeah, that's all my stitchy plans. Whew. That's a lot. I usually don't work on this many projects, but I've been really like, if I feel like switching, I'm switching. Like I'm not trying, if I like don't feel like stitching because I'm not excited about the piece, I switch, hence the haunted house. So, life stuff. Outside of stitching and stuff, I tried to be very summery in August. So, I went golfing, and I actually won our gym league with my team, 3 other people. My team was stacked, so I mean all the teams were pretty good, but we won. I was very excited about it. We went to a local like fun fair around here. We went to the Wisconsin State Fair, which, oh my gosh, was so fun. We ate so much good food. It was like, I'm a fair girl now. I'm like, every year we're gonna go to the fair, because you just, now that like I'm an adult with adult money, I can buy all the outrageously stupid expensive food that you want when you're a little kid walking around a fair, and your parents are like, no, you don't need the candy apple that will have you bouncing off the walls. But as an adult, you can buy that candy apple. So we had a bratwurst flavored crab rangoon. It was actually very good. We had a beef Wellington sausage roll. We had an ube bananas spring roll. That was so good. We did a strawberry bowl that had chocolate and marshmallows and or like marshmallow fluff and toffee. Yeah, it was so fun. And then we also went to another fair for a different neighborhood around here. So I went to 3 fairs, which I thought was pretty good. And then for my goals, I set different goals. So I said for house goals, I wanted to hang shelves, and I did. I got, let's see if you can see them. I got these shelves. How cute are those? Where did I buy them? Oh my gosh. Ah, oh, it's 2 words. Well, I don't know. I'll put it on the screen. I ordered a dupe of them off Amazon, and they were absolute garbage, and I returned them. And then I got these, and they're very cute. They're a total vibe. We also hung up lights in our backyard and got a new TV for outside to watch like baseball and football games. We actually had a fire this past Saturday. It was so fun. That was also very summery in my opinion. So yeah, hopefully in September we can kind of keep up the summery vibes by having fires and sitting outside more. But really September for me is football. I am so excited. We have our fantasy draft tonight. I'm stoked. I can't wait. I got 3rd last year in our fantasy league, so I'm hoping to continue my winning streak and not having to pay because I won. But I won first. So yeah, I'm very excited about that. We also, I went to a new like bookstore that's in Milwaukee, so that felt summery to me for some reason. Yeah, those are all my summery vibes. Other goals I had was golf, house, Volunteering, I did my background check. I haven't heard anything from the library, so I'm not sure if they like don't need people right now. So I might have to look into other options for volunteering, which is total drag because I was excited about that. Reading, I read 7 books. None of them, to be fair, were really outside my normal scope. But I will say we went to this new like romance specific bookstore in Milwaukee, and it was so fun. And I went up to the owner, who is like literally a girl my age, and was like, "What's your favorite book? I want to read like what you recommend." And she recommended Done and Dusted, which again, not outside my normal scope. It's a romance. But it was so good. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, and it was like a bit out of my scope because I've never read like a cowboy romance. So yeah, that was fun. And I'm glad I bought it because I'm a rereader, so I'll definitely reread it. So yeah, so goals, health and fitness. I did track my macros and like had my creatine like a good girl. And I didn't track every single day, but I probably tracked 75% of the time. And when I wasn't tracking, I was still really making an effort to eat a lot of protein. Because again, trying to get strong over here. I think for this month, my goal is gonna be to walk 7,000 steps a day. I'm not counting today because I'm on vacay and I don't want to walk. I just want to stay in my house. So I'm not counting Labor Day, but I'll get my life together tomorrow, and I'll start tomorrow, and I'll let you know how it goes. Other things in September I'm looking forward to are my birthday's in September, hence my birthday new start, The Grinch, and Borderlands, the video game, Borderlands 4 is coming out on September 12th. So there's a countdown in our household for that. We're very excited. Yeah, that's about it. September gets really busy again because my work and like birthdays and stuff, but it should be a really good month. Oh, I didn't tell you about. So August also was a bit of a situation because Milwaukee ended up having the 1,000-year flood. And last episode, I told you how my office is in shambles because the ceiling caved in. Well, now our basement is in shambles because we have a door that goes into our house, and basically it's like a recessed door. I don't know if that's the right word. And basically it rained so much that the water seeped in through the door and ruined all the flooring in our guest room. So we had to rip all of that out. And then we had our carpet got all wet, so we had to rip that out and like dry it and all that crap. Could have been a lot worse. Like people were losing like entire houses because their basements were caving in and the foundation and all that crap. Sewers were backing up all over. So luckily ours was just rainwater and very manageable. But now we're down 2 rooms. So yeah, we're waiting to actually turn that door into a wall. So this doesn't happen again. Not that we're gonna get another 1,000-year flood, but just like taking that out of the equation because we never use the door anymore, or anyways, and now it doesn't even open because it's swelled shut because of the water. So yeah, we're down 2 rooms. So bit of a disaster. And on top of that, the bees. So as we're drying out our basement and stuff, we're going to and from Home Depot, and we noticed we had wasps, yellow jackets specifically, going into this tiny little hole by our front door. And we were like at Home Depot, and we were like, oh, we'll get wasp spray, take care of that, bing, bang, boom, we're getting stuff done. Okay, but here's the thing, we're stupid. And So our basement, again, shambles. All this crap is all over one side of the basement. So there's boxes, tables everywhere. And we filled a hole outside of our house, or we spray it, killing the wasps, in theory, and filling the hole, because we're stupid, and think nothing of it. And we're like, okay, cool, man, we're really getting stuff done. No. Next morning, Adam calls me and he's like, hey, can you go downstairs and check to see if the carpet's dry? And I was like, yeah, no problem. And I walk down our stairs, get to the carpet, and I'm like, oh, great, the carpet's dry. And I was like, oh, that's weird. There's a dead wasp on the windowsill. And he's like, really? That's weird. You should check the wall that had the hole in it. And I was like, oh, okay. Mind you, I have to crawl over a crap ton of stuff to get to that thing. And I'm like crawling. And I look up and I was like, oh no, there's wasps flying around our windows. And he was like, oh crap. And I was like looking around at all the things around me, and there's just wasps everywhere, crawling around, crawling on the floor. I'm getting goosebumps right now thinking about it. And I was like, ah! And Adam's like, what's going on? And I was like, I'll call you right back. And so then I get a vacuum and I start sucking up wasps. And once I like gather myself, I call Adam back and I was like, so sorry. There's wasps everywhere. And he's like, well, check the hole where the hole would be. And so there was this tiny ass stupid little thing that was this much off the wall, like wasn't screwed on properly because our house is a shit show. Sorry. And there was just actively wasps crawling out of the nest. And so I got a plastic container, put it over the hole, taped it shut. But basically the whole wasp nest that was in the wall couldn't get out of the original hole. So I had to look for a new way out. And unfortunately that was into our household. So yeah, I spent the next 2 hours sucking up wasps. I only got stung once. Luckily, they were pretty docile because they were like dying and poisoned. But there were still like flying wasps everywhere. Thank God the cats didn't go downstairs because like I was upstairs. We don't really go downstairs very often unless we're like playing video games. So they weren't down there. And then once I realized, I was like, no kitties allowed. But yeah, it was a disaster. The exterminator had to come over and he was like, OMG. And I was like, yeah, I know. I wish I took a video of the vacuum just full of wasps flying around. It was awful. Yeah. So that also happened. So that's been our house this month. So hopefully this upcoming month, is better. Because that was not the one. So that's been my life. Do I have anything else to say? House goals. In theory, we potentially could have our office being worked on. So if that is the case, that's the goal, is to get the office, like, start moving that along. If not, a house goal is maybe I want a new center for under our TV. So continuing to look for that. I've like been looking online, but I have like a specific vision in my brain because I like quirky stuff. So it makes it very hard to find stuff. So continuing the hunt for that. So yeah. Reading goals. I'll set another, I actually have one book outside of my scope already, but I'll set a goal of 2 outside of the scope books. I don't know. I'll stick with one. I'll try and finish, I'll start and finish that book. I'll stay with one because again, September's gonna be busy. I already did my health goal. I think that's everything. I'm gonna stop yapping away. I feel like I really talked a lot in this one. So thank you so much for tuning in. I can't wait to update you after September ends for Flosstube number 22. I like these like beginning of the month videos because I love a goal. So yeah, we will continue. I'll start stitching away on The Hobbit today, restart it. I'm so annoyed. Not really, it's fine. Again, it was only like one day of stitching, but I am annoyed. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe. I'll see you later. Bye.